Hello friends, welcome to ORA-Pathshala. In this video, we will learn about SQL Workshop in Oracle Apex. So once you log in your application, you see this shortcut or link for SQL Workshop. After clicking on this SQL Workshop, you land on this page. Here you can see a few options like Object Browser, SQL commands, SQL scripts, utility, and RESTful services. So in this video, we will cover Object Browser, SQL commands, SQL scripts and utilities. RESTful services we will cover in upcoming videos. First we gain a fair amount of understanding about Oracle Apex. So let's get started. So before doing anything, let us understand what is SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which is used to manage relational database. We use SQL to perform various operations on data available in Oracle database. In SQL, there are various commands to manipulate data, and we can classify these commands into 6 categories. These categories are data definition language statement, data manipulation language statement, transaction control statements, session control statements, system control statements, and embedded SQL statements. So let us start with Object Browser. We click on this Object Browser button. On this page you can see various objects available in this schema. So one thing is to notice that you are connected with this schema. So whatever objects you are seeing here belongs to this schema. Okay, so what are objects? Objects are anything which you create in your database using DDL commands. Okay, for example, table, procedures, functions, indexes, sequence. So you can see this type of objects are available. So for example, let us select table. So here you can see whatever the tables available in this schema. Okay, so if you want to see the procedure, you can filter from here. So you see this procedure is available. Similarly, you can see what are the functions available. So there is no function in this particular schema. Let's go with the package. So you see there are 5 packages. Okay, so let us start with the table. Okay, so when we click on the table, you see all the table in this schema. If you want to see the information related to one particular table, you can click on this any table, let's say department table. So here you can see the information related to this department table. You can see that column name, so it has 3 columns, data type of the column, number, character, whether it is nullable or not, and a primary key. So whether this column is a primary key or part of a primary key. So you can say department number is primary key. Okay, here you see some buttons where by using this button you can alter this table information. For example, if you want to add a new column in this department table, you can click on this button and then you can add a new column here. Let's say COU entry country. Okay, then you can see the type of this column. You can say varchar 2, the length, let's say 50 character. Okay, whether it is nullable or not null. So you can say it is nullable and you can simply click on next button. Okay, then just confirm to add. So if you see, new column country is added to the table. Similarly, if you want to modify the column, modify means if you want, for example, you want to increase the size or you want to change the data type of the column, you can click on this modify column. Okay, so for example, which column you want to modify, let's say country, instead of 50 you want to make it 100. Okay, and then just click next button, confirm to finish. So now you can notice the country column has 100 character now. Similarly, if you want to rename this column, you can click on this rename column button. Okay, so let's select which column you want to rename, and the new name, let's say COU and country name. Okay, just click next and finish. So now you can see that column is renamed. Okay, similarly, if you want to drop any column, or you want to alter your table and drop this column, particular column, you can use this button. If you want to rename the table, you can click on this button. So the name of the table is department. You can give it any new name, okay, if you want. So let us cancel this. So I am just very quickly going through all the options. For example, if you want to delete, if you want to drop the table, for example, you don't need this table anymore and you don't want it to be in your database, you can drop the column. The truncate basically will delete all the data from the table. Okay, if you want to create an app on this table, you can click on create app. So it will open that create application wizard, and then you can create a new application based on this table. Okay, so this was the information about the table. If you want to see the data in this table, you can click on this data tab. Okay, so here you can see it has 4 rows. Okay, so if you want to edit or delete any particular row, you can simply click on this edit button. Okay, so here you can see that if you want to delete this row, you can click this delete button, or if you want to update some information, okay, for example, you want to put some country name, let's say USA, and apply changes. So you can see now this row is updated. Now if you want to insert a new row in this table, you can click on this insert row button. Okay, if you want to count the row, you can simply click on it, will show you the row count. Okay, then you come back. If you want to see the query, you can click on this query button. So if you want to, for example, you want to add some filters, and you say, if you want to say country name is equal to USA, if you want to filter your data, just say query, so it will show you the data where country is USA. Okay, so we have selected only one column, that's why it is showing only one column. So if you want to see all the columns, you can click here and just say query. Okay, so then you see all the columns where the country name is USA. Okay, you cancel it. So now you have all the data. You can see simple the indexes. If there is any index created on this particular table, so we can see the index name. So it is a unique index, and it says on department number, so department number is unique. Okay, similarly, you want to see the constraint. The constraints are like all the constraints like unique indexes, primary keys, foreign keys, whatever. Okay, you can see the grants here. Grant, basically we give grant on this particular table to any other user. Okay, so this table has no grant, so you can give the grant to any user if you want. If you want to give a grant to a particular user, you can say grantee. You can say, use here any other schema name. For example, if you have 2 schemas in your database and you want to give grant to any other user on this table, you can write the name here. Okay, similarly, if you want to see if there is any trigger available on this table, so you can click on the trigger. Okay, so here you can say there is one trigger. If you, so under dependency tab, we can see where this table is being used. So for example, this table is being referenced in trigger. Okay, or if this table is being used in any other procedure or somewhere else, procedure or function, you can see those details here. Okay, so if you want to see the query, simply click on this SQL. So here you can see the DDL statement for this table. So create table department number, so all the informations related to this particular table, okay, are there. So let's come back to our table. So I hope you understand this, the table information where we can add, rename, or do some perform some DDL operation on any table. So let us see an example of procedures. So if we click on procedure, so here we see this only one procedure available in our database. Let's click on this. So this is the procedure. Okay, so you can see the code. If you want to make some changes in this particular procedure, you can make some changes here. Okay, and you can save and compile. Okay, if you want to download the script of this particular procedure, you can just simply click on download source. So the source will be downloaded in SQL file format. Okay, so let's say open with notepad. So here you can see this procedure script has been downloaded. Okay, so you can use this download button. So even you can see the dependencies. So dependencies means what type of objects are being used in this particular procedure. You can say you are using this table in this particular procedure. So if this procedure has some errors or some compilation error, you can simply click on the error. So you can see if there are errors. Okay, you can see the grants if you want to see which schema has grant on this particular procedure. So as you can see, we have only one schema here, so no other schema has grant on this. Okay, so if you want to drop this procedure, you can simply click on this drop button. So it will ask for the confirmation first to drop. Okay, if you want to see the drop command, you can simply click on the SQL here and you can see the drop command. Okay, so let us cancel this. Similarly, if you want to see the packages available in your database, you can simply click on package. Okay, so click on package name. So here you have package specification and package body. So if you want to make some changes in this procedure package, you can simply do some changes here and then you can save and compile. If you want to download the source of this, you can click on this button, or if you want to drop this package, you can simply click on drop package button. Here you can see one small icon for adding the new database objects. For example, if you want to create some new objects like table or procedure or function, you can simply click on this button and you see what type of object you want to create. So let's say you want to create a new table. Okay, so let's say click on this button. Here you can give a table name like, okay, say new tab, just for example, and then the column name, I say column 1, and the data type, let's say number. So identity, whether it is identity column or no, you say yes always, and then you can say equal to, and then let's say database data type is varchar2, then we can say 30, whether it is not null column, we can tick okay, it shouldn't be null. Similarly, we can say create. If you want to add a primary key, you can say, you can choose various options here. If you want to populate the primary key from sequence, you can say here, then you have to assign a sequence name here. Okay, so let's say no primary key, just create the table. Okay, so here another confirmation, just create. If you want to see the SQL statement for this table, you can simply click here, so you can copy if you want to run this, or just create table. So if you say, see here, new table has been created in our database. Similarly, you can use this option to create procedures, package or functions, triggers, metalize views, synonyms. Okay, So I hope this is enough for object browser. Let us jump to SQL queries now, or SQL commands. So if we click on this button, we see here, so here this is the place where you can write your query. For example, if you want to see how many tables are available in your schema, so you can simply run the simplest command. So start from tab. Okay, so let me explain you here. So this page you can divide in 3 sections. So for example, this header section where you can see this save and run button, clear command, and find table buttons. Okay, and this middle section where you write your queries. Okay, and this bottom section where you can see the result of your query. So for example, if I run the query, I can see the result here. So start from, let's say, depth, and we can see the result of our query here. So if so this number of rows, you can control the output. Okay, for example, there are only 4 rows here. So in this table there are only 4 rows. So if I change the table, let's say tab, okay, so it will only show the 10 records, because the rows number of rows I am requesting here 10. So if I want more rows, I can simply say 200, and I have to run this query again. So it will show now 200 rows. So as you can see, in my database there are only 28 tables. Okay, one more thing to notice here is you can simply save this query for future use. You can simply click on this save button. If you want to keep this query for future use, you can say my query. Okay, and then just simply save it. Okay, so if I run it now and you want to see your saved queries, so you can simply click on this button, saved queries or saved SQL. So here you can see this query saved by you. If you want to use this query again, you just simply click on this. So now you can run it again. Okay, so if you want to see the histories of your queries run by you, you can simply click on this history button. So here you can see all the queries recently run. Okay, so with the time you can see 99 seconds ago, then 2 minutes ago, and you can say 5 days ago and 13 days ago. Okay, so here if you want to clear your screen here, or you want to clear this space, you can simply click on clear command button. If you want to find some table name, okay, so you can simply click on this find table button. Here you can see all the tables available in your database, or you can search by the name also. Let's say new, and let's say go. So it will search all the tables available with your search criteria. Okay, based on your search criteria, you can see the tables available here. Okay, let us see some settings now. So you can see there is a setting button here. If you click here, you can see the indentation. In indentation you see the tab size. So by default it is 8. So what does it mean? It means when I'm writing a query, and if I press tab, I am jumping with 8 spaces. Okay, so my tab is equal to 8 space. Okay, so if you want to reduce that tab size, you can simply say tab size 2, and if you press now tab, you will jump only 2 space. Like this you can control the size of your tab. Okay, another option here, it is mode or theme, you can say. So if you want to go for light theme, you can change the theme from here itself. Okay, high contrast dark, so you can have this. Another option here which I like is show line number. So as you can see, if I have a query, so there is no line number. If you want to have line numbers here, you can simply say show line number. So now you have line numbers. Okay, another option is here show white space. So if you own this option, so you will now see the spaces between your between two words. For example, if I press a space, so you can see there is a small dot being displayed, so it is representing a space. Okay, so if you want to disable it, you can say disable. So now you don't see those dots here. If you say spaces, so now they will start appearing again. Okay, let me change the theme back to dark. Okay, another important option here is bracket pair colorization. This is very important. Okay, so if you, for example, if you have two brackets here, like let's say select star from tab where t name in, and you have brackets. So you see, and for example, if you have two more brackets here, so all brackets are of same color. If you want to have different colors for your brackets, you can say bracket pair colorization. So now you can see the pair opening and closing bracket has same color. Okay, so similarly, if you insert more brackets here, they will get different color. So it is very easy to see where the bracket is closing. So now you clearly see that yellow bracket is closing here, this blue bracket is closing here. Okay, so I found it very useful when you have nested queries. So this option bracket pair colorization is very useful. Another option here is show suggestions. Okay, so for example, if you want to type something like select and you want to auto complete it, you can simply press Ctrl and space, so you will get this. Okay, select star F Ctrl space, then you say from. Okay, so now you have TA table. So now with Control and space you can have shortcuts. Another important shortcut which I think you should know is, for example, if you have this query and if you want to copy it again, so you can simply say Shift Alt and down arrow, so you can copy the command from the top. One more important thing is if you want to have multi cursors. Okay, so for example, you want to change this table name in all queries. Okay, so you can simply click your cursor position here and you can press say Alt and Shift and then click top. So now you can see you have multi cursor. Okay, now you can simply change this table name in one go. For example, if you instead of a star you want to select that column, so you can simply say Alt Shift and click and you can say column name. Okay, so this is another handy features. Okay, so I think this video is going to be very long, so let me stop it here, and in next video we will cover SQL scripts and utility. So see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.